Brandon Davis gets it to TJ Smith. Another dunk for Smith. Layup good. Right field to Miles Burns. Alley-oop slam.
The Loyola men's basketball team accomplished something that most athletes only dream of. For the first time in more than 70 years, and with an incredible record of 38-1, the Loyola Wolfpack brought home the NAIA National Championship Trophy. And here with us to talk about it are two of the local players on the team, Baton Rouge native Milan Mejia and Kenner's own Andrew Stagney. Thank you for joining us, guys. You guys had an incredible season, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, Milan, let's start with you. So, at the beginning of the season, you guys had, as most would say, a lot of adversity with Hurricane Ida and being displaced. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we had a couple weeks here in New Orleans, and we were able to practice a little bit and do some just pick up play and hang out with the guys. And then once Ida hit, we had to figure out where we were going to practice. And for about 2 weeks, we were at home. And then once we got word of where we were going, we were going to go to Dallas, and we practiced in Dallas for about a week and a half. Or a week, 10 days. And then we stayed there for about 10 days and then came back, and we still had no idea where we were going to practice because there was water that had leaked into the roof of the gym. And then Xavier and Tulane offered to host us for a little while, and we practiced at Xavier around 6 a.m. pretty much for about a month, right?
Around there.
Yeah, and then Tulane offered their practice facility to go and practice for at night, and so we practiced in between Xavier and Tulane for pretty much the whole beginning of the season. And then we had our games. Most of our games were away, and then Pontchartrain Center let us use their court for the remainder of the home games.
I was talking to my dad, and he was like, I could try and make something happen. And the court was in there, and it was actually kind of cool. I'm like, oh, I'm from there, so it's like a part of me is here in the gym with us. It was really special for me.
So right out the gate, you guys just exploded, beating really good teams early on, particularly UNO. Was there a feeling in the locker room that this year was going to be special, even with all of that was going on?
I think for me, even in the summer or even in the off season when we were able to see who was coming, and with Jalen and Brandon being added to the team, those guys definitely helped boost our just chemistry and strengthen the team. And then also we went so far last year with going to the Elite Eight, and there was 2 players hurt, and I think that we could have gone all the way again like we did this year if we had those players. And I felt like it was going to be a great year from the start, even after we beat UNO and before.
And it did. Andrew, let's talk about getting through the season and talk about when you guys got to the tournament. It started out at Tulane, right? The regional tournament started out at Tulane. What was the feeling in that last game when you guys were cutting down the net at Fogelman and knew that you were going on to the Sweet 16 at that point, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
We were really excited going into the opening round games, and we had to make sure that we wouldn't overlook any opponent, no matter what their rank was. If the team before them got upset, we just had to focus on that individual game. And then we were cutting down the nets, but nobody looked too excited because we knew the job wasn't done. We knew we had 4 more games to win. So we were just locked in. We went to the locker room, and it really wasn't even that much of a celebration. It was more of a let's lock in on practice the next coming days, and let's get it handled. We worked all season for this. And
going to Kansas City, just watching it from my point of view, it looked like you guys had been there before.
Yeah.
That's what, the glitz and the glamour of it had worn off, and you guys were there for business. You really only had one scare in the quarterfinals. I think you were down at one point in that game. Talk about, you guys said some interesting things that happened even before that. Talk about that.
Going into 2 days before the game, we had a day off in between the first and second game, and me and one other player ended up having to go to the emergency room for, we think it was food poisoning, and then other people on the team got like a stomach bug, and it threw everything off. We had to get IVs and everything, but no matter what happened, we were all making sure that we were going to get through it. We were going to make it happen.
Milan, did you get sick too?
Yes, I got sick. I didn't have the food poisoning, but I had the bug right after. But I think that it was just, I guess it kind of just shows how tough we are and everything we've been through with being able to overcome those things and adapt to just not having our point guard and having a sick shooting guard, which is one of those things that kind of just test our ability just to overcome anything really. And that was just meant for us to be champions.
Andrew, what was it like at the end when you knew you had 2 minutes left in the game and the clock was ticking down, you guys were well ahead. Talk about that from all the way through the end, raising the banner, the whole bit.
Just as the game progressed, we were just getting more and more excited, and it didn't really even hit us when it first happened. We were like, it didn't even feel real.
Yeah.
It was like a fever dream, and we were on the court jumping around, celebrating. And honestly, it didn't even hit me until we got back here and we started seeing all the people we recognized from the games that showed support, and they all came together to celebrate us. And that's when it really started to hit me that the city was supporting us that much, and it just felt great.
Okay. Tell us about the Juice Men.
The Juice Men started my freshman year, so 2 years ago, when it was me, my teammate Luke Ladner, and Josh Tolbert, and Zach Muller. We would walk around campus, and then we'd see Zach Reitzel and Miles Burns, and whenever they walked up to us, they'd be like, "Oh, y'all were walking around so cool. Y'all got the juice." And so we were already really close, and we were walking one day, and I just looked over. I'm like, Josh, what if we just called ourselves the Juice Men? And it really just stuck from there. And then we carried it over onto the basketball team. Leading up to this year, we were like, if we want to win a championship, we had just come from the Elite Eight, so we were like, we can win it. Like we could have won it this year. We're gonna win it next year. So we were making sure anybody that came in, we were gonna make sure that we got them to contribute to the chemistry and just buy in. Everybody's celebrating anything, even if you're not getting in. Everybody has a role. Doesn't matter if you don't play. Everybody has a role. Everybody bought in. Everybody had the juice, and we brought it every single game, and it's just led up to win the championship.
Okay. Yeah. One last question that, as your success grows, I'm sure you're going to get this question more and more often. Young athletes, freshmen in high school, sophomores in high school, seniors in high school, that want to get to the level that you guys got. What is your advice?
I think that you just kind of have to be able to adapt to anything. If you come from playing every game, not coming out, or not playing at all, and then becoming better, it's just, you need to be able to work at all the time. You gotta have the same work ethic every single day. You got to get better, and I just think that will push your success to be wherever you want to be.
I think whatever team you go on to, you have to buy into what your role is, and just contribute any way you can. Like he said, if you go from playing to not playing, or not playing to playing, or playing a little bit, you just have to do that as hard as you can and do what's best for the team. No selfishness involved.
I think that was a key for us, is that we didn't have ever really spurts of selfishness, and if we did, we, as a group, we were able to call that out and figure it out. And I think that's what made us better, was being able to call each other out and keep each other accountable for whatever mistakes we've made.
Multiple times during the year, we would call team meetings, even without our coach, just to, like, even if it caused like some argument, we just talked it out. Nobody held any grudges. It was just like, you're doing this wrong. Let's fix this. How can we fix this? And it was just that's what you need for any team, is to do things to make yourself better as a group.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. Congrats again. And
Thank you. Yes, sir.
on to next year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.